Hey, this is Colin Cree. I have a special guest today, Dr. Adam Graves from down in Castle Rock. We've known Dr. Graves for quite some time. My whole family goes and sees him. And I thought to bring in his expertise in this and ask him a couple questions that might be helpful for you. So, Dr. Graves, you want to just introduce yourself real quick, and then I'll ask you a couple of questions here.
Sure. Sorry, not sure what's going on with the lighting on my my computer, but um, let me see if I can do this. I think it makes me worse. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you worse. Yeah, that's better.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Dr. Adam Graves, Castle Rock, Colorado. So I'm a naturopathic doctor, licensed acupuncturist, functional medicine. I've been graduated in 2006. So I've been doing this for about um, 14, 15 years now. And yeah, see a lot of cases, definitely what's going on now. I work with a lot of patients who have chronic health conditions where they've haven't been able to see get results with other doctors, and just kind of taking a more holistic approach to patients' health.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is, with all that's going on, now is really the time to everybody to start taking, I think, a more holistic approach to their health. You
No,
know,
fully agreed. I wanted to ask you about that. You know, we're talking about immune system right now, and we're on the belief of that I want to be as best prepared, at least for my family too, that if something hits me, I'm ready. You know, I've done the
yeah.
best I can. What are some of the best ways to boost the immune system in your mind?
Well, I think the all back to the basics is, the foundations of health. Make sure you're getting plenty of rest as much as you can, plenty of movement, activity, exercise, plenty of sunlight and vitamin D, plenty of hydration. So getting the best. And then, for kind of general immune health and prevention, we're recommending, like a good multivitamin, definitely vitamin D, to kind of help overall support the immune system against viruses. Probiotics, there's some data on probiotics that people who take probiotics regularly get sick less often and less severe. Um, so really, it's kind of like that foundation, checking in, make sure your diet's good, cutting out the crap as much as you can. Lots of fruits and vegetables, high in antioxidants, tends to help lung function, making sure you're moving, getting those hearts and lungs in shape. You don't have to be, running marathons, but even just going out for a 30-minute, 1 hour walk a day, ideally during sunny hours. So you're getting not only exercise, but you're getting that vitamin D up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then that also helps your sleep. Ideally, if you're moving more, you're sleeping better. This is incredible stressful time for everybody. I think whether people are working or not working, we're all in this weird limbo of just kind of waiting to see if things get worse or get better, or kind of what's going on. So doing helpful things, resting, moving, eating healthy to help manage that stress, and then kind of taking those general over immune system supplements, and then look at your immune history. This is like a really severe flu. So in the past, do you get sick often? Do you get sick severely? Some people haven't been sick in 4 or 5 years. Other people get sick every, month to other month in the winter. So, if you're that type of person that gets sick and, you rest, you recover, you do okay, that's great. If you're that person that's getting sick, once or twice a month or 3 to 4 times a winter, then you got to be a little more aggressive with your self-care to really get that immune system back on track.
Great. You know, it was something that you had mentioned that on one of your posts that I saw where you were talking about, okay, let's say you're healthy right now, where that person that's not being affected, their immune system's great, but it's being affected up here right now.
Yeah.
And you know, the attacks on the mind could be just as devastating, I think, too. Can you speak to that just a little bit and what your thoughts are on that?
Well, for sure, the stress, right? The stress is so high, and every day it's kind of, I think most of us feel in our day-to-day life somewhat autonomous, like we get to choose where we go, what we do, the way we work. So we feel like we have some sort of kind of sense of control in our life.
Hmm.
Um, when all this stuff, our schedules, our shopping, kids' schedule gets kind of all taken away, we lose that um, kind of sense of autonomy and sense of control in our life. So that's
Mhm.
unnerving for anybody, especially
Right.
as adults with kids. You want to feel like, hey, I can do what's best for my family. So I think for me, it comes out, trying to just change things, change perspectives. Like, okay, I can't really do this anymore. I can't live my life for the short being. It could be a few weeks, it could be a few months, we don't know. So, for the short being, I can't really do all this stuff I normally do, but what can I do? And that's where I think focusing on, hey, what can I do right now for my health? Specifically, everybody's health, in my opinion, should be first priority. Ideally, finances are right below that,
Right.
but you got to remember, we'll get through this. If you have a roof over your head and food on the table, like, it's going to be okay. I mean, we've been through plenty of pandemics and world wars, and this is uncomfortable, but one, this will pass. And while we're waiting for this to pass, what things can control? You can write a list of just healthy activities to do during the day and just pick a few,
Mhm.
and how do you be proactive? Like, okay, well, I can't go to work, so I got extra time. I might as well use that time moving or resting or, cooking healthy meals and focusing my efforts of the time I have on getting me healthy versus constantly worrying and trying to guess what's going to go on here. Basically, we're all on a forced pause for at least a month. You
Right.
know, we're all basically in a timeout.
Right.
So it's how do we make the best of that timeout and not let it, how do we improve our health in that timeout? And I think there's lots of simple ways, like we've talked about. So that's the
Right.
biggest is, try to focus on what you can control. Try to constantly remind yourself, like I do, like, hey, the people I love at this moment are okay, you know,
Mhm.
and all the data still supports that they're going to be okay. I mean, 80 to 90% recover very mild cases. They recover fast. The kids are safe, adults are safe. We really are just all in timeout to protect that at-risk population and to protect the hospital staff, to allow them time as cases rise, that they can just have more time to deal with patients. So although this feels really scary and awkward, our health is compared to all the data is still relatively safe. Now there are people that are younger that are going to pass away from, if they have heart disease and diabetes and lung issues, but the majority of them are going to recover. That's still all the data, the majority of that, we're all okay, we're all safe. We just got to kind of sit them out and figure out how to make the best of it.
Awesome. Awesome. Dr. Graves, where can people reach you? Social media, at
Yep.
your office? Where can they, just to let them know how
Yep.
they
So
can
my
contact you?
website's dradamgraves.com. Over the next week, check out our blog or our Facebook or Instagram. We're releasing, tons of helpful tips and videos. Um, we're also offering a free half-hour wellness check for people that want to do kind of just 30-minute wellness checks. We can check in with their stress level, their sleep, their respiratory level, their immune system. We can just kind of check and see what areas we can help support them and they can help support themselves. So I think there's a lot of us all pulling together just to
Mhm.
try to help each other out, which is also a way to deal with this pandemic.
Right. Awesome. Awesome. Everybody, thank you for listening. Hopefully, this was helpful for you. If message me if you need to get with Dr. Graves, and I'll connect you. But reach out to him directly. He's an incredible resource. Thanks again.
Yeah, have a good day, Colin. Appreciate the time.